stateside for my promotion and be able to have so many family members and friends here. I thank Captain Barr for being here and for believing in my work and effort. That support was instrumental in my promotion in 05, and so I want to personally thank you for that. I'd like to extend a special thanks to Paul Ross, one of my oldest friends dating back to high school. I've appreciated your friendship so much over the years as we've gone from awkward teenagers to fathers and husbands. Your sincerity and openness are traits which I've long admired. I'd like to thank my friend Aaron Brown for being here. Aaron was my plebe year roommate who came over here from the Pentagon today. I think it's safe to assume that back in the days, neither of us thought we'd pass our next room inspection, let alone pin on commander one day. So, and later in the speech, I talked kind of about going the long way. And I remember as a plebe when you wanted to become a Navy SEAL one day. And I personally have always wanted to say I admire your tenacity and drive in pursuing that path, the long way around that took you through the Marine Corps infantry before transitioning into the Navy, becoming a SEAL. So I just want to say definitely admire you for that, man. Thank you to my parents for being here. Your example and dedication and loving me made me the man I am today. And a big thank you to my little sister Laura for coming over from NAVAIR to celebrate today. Really proud of you and everything you're doing at such a young age. I'd love to applaud we already applauded you, Betty, but just what an amazing job you did, you little kindergartner, just reading all that. Really mind-blowing. I definitely was not at that level at your age. Still probably am not. Thank you for Jackson and Isla for helping me with my cover, and for Gladys for holding it over there, not drilling too much on it. And finally, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with such an amazing, incredible, and beautiful woman. Emily, just what a woman you are. You inspire me, encourage me, and I love you so much. So I've looked forward to this day for the past several months, and it's given me pause and time for reflection on how exactly I arrived where I am today. When my daughter Betty recited the names of our family members who served in the military, I mainly had her do that as part of my continued brainwashing campaign to encourage my children to go to a service academy like the one in Annapolis, or even a regular college like the Air Force Academy. But I also had to recite those names to emphasize the DNA of military service that's been passed down in our family from our ancestors. I was able to see this DNA firsthand through the example of service shown by my father and grandparents. In my father's case, he served 30 honorable years as a Marine Corps artillery officer and foreign area officer that took our family around the globe to exotic places like Morocco, and also really special corners of the U.S. like my birthplace in 29 Palms, California. A place that, no kidding, our upper class of the Naval Academy would sing cadences proclaiming it as the land that God forgot. So that was always a really special place to be from. Also to my 91-year-old grandfather, who couldn't be here with us today. It's him up there. He's alive and speeding along the highways of North Carolina in his red SUV still at 91. But as a naval aviator, his service left a unique impact on my young psyche. He was one of the original VF-21 mockbusters. I have his flight jacket that he gave me, performing some of the first jet-powered carrier landings back in the early 50s. And notably, he left the Navy early on in his career because he valued his family and wanted to take care of his oldest son with Down syndrome. The services and choices made by both these men inspired me to recite that same oath of office 21 years ago during plebe summer at the Naval Academy. And since that oath, I've followed the inspiration of both my grandfathers who were aviators and earned my wings of gold, flying an aircraft that only the chosen few are skilled enough to fly. The beautiful and elegant SH-60 Foxtrot. Then I followed in my father's footsteps in 2010 when I transitioned to the Navy FAO program. Through it all, these career paths have been both challenging and rewarding. From that first solo flight, to the first time signing for a helicopter as the aircraft commander, to the first time as a FAO sitting down alone with the Minister of Defense of Madagascar to discuss their national defense strategy in French. Through it all, I progressed onwards and upwards until last summer. So last summer was when I found out I wasn't selected for commander the first time around. So it may seem strange to talk about failure during a promotion speech. After all, the military ecosystem is built and all too often sustained by a type A zero-defect culture. But I can honestly say that my failure to select was one of the best things to happen to me. Namely because it gave me an opportunity for introspection, humility, prayer, a chance to examine from where I derive my self-worth. Ellen DeGeneres, of all people, has this great quote where she says, "It's failure that gives you the proper perspective on success." That's exactly it, right? What is your definition of success? And for me, the process of dealing with not being selected the first time around helped me to learn that success doesn't and mustn't come from something as temporal as the results of a promotion pool. Success comes from the relationships you build. And for me, the success comes in the embrace of a loving wife that you prioritize, comes in the smiles of joyful children with whom you dedicate time to spending time with. And ultimately, success comes from striving, from the hard work, not the man-determined result. Success is fighting the good fight, finishing the race, keeping the faith. In John Dixon's phenomenal book, Humilitas, he makes the observation that we are shaped by what we love and admire. In my case, in failure, I came to realize that sometimes God's plan for your life means going the long way around. And going the long way around gave me another year to grow in humility and to embrace those people that I love and admire. The long way has brought me to a place where I'm able to celebrate this accomplishment with those people. A loving, faithful God, a caring family, and a country for which it's an honor to serve. Thanks for coming today.